Loverboy 1989. Synopsis. Loverboy is a 1989 American comedy film starring Patrick Dempsey, Kirstie Alley, Carrie Fisher, Kate Jackson, and Barbara Carrera. The plot involves a father's concern that his son is becoming gay, as he constantly calls him someone with a man's name. But what he doesn't realize is that his son delivers more than just pizzas at his delivery job, and the supposed man is actually a dissatisfied wife. This obviously makes the husbands furious. Plot. The story is about Randy Bodick, a college student living with his girlfriend, Jenny Gordon. Randy is a slacker and just can't work hard, which drives his father crazy. One day, furious at Randy's laziness, he forces him to return home and get a job. Randy finally finds a job delivering pizzas for Senor Pizza, but his meager earnings don't allow him to finance college on his own, and he despairs of ever being able to get back with Jenny the next semester. So he returns as Bart when he starts working, bored and saying the job is for fools. As a delivery boy, he soon meets a sensual, rich Italian woman, Alex Barnett, who pampers and seduces him. She and Randy enjoy a quiet, brief, and passionate relationship. So just like Bart, Randy suddenly one day was well dressed and had a lot of money. His unusually cheerful behavior and the gifts given to him by Randy's handsome Italian coworker Tony, signed, Love, Alex, inspire Randy's father to believe that his son is gay. Finally, Alex must return to Italy. Randy is disappointed. He has enjoyed his relationship with Alex, both for the generous gifts of money and expensive clothing, and for the experience-pleasing women he can bring to his relationship with Jenny upon returning to college. Alex tells her on their last night together that the next time Senor Pizza receives an order of pizza with extra anchovies, she will be the one to call him again. However, the next request for extra anchovies comes from an unhappily married Asian woman, Kyoko Bruckner. Other requests come from Dr. Joyce Palmer, director of a women's health practice, and the reclusive aspiring photographer Monica Delancey. Randy's relationships with these women lead him to better understand women's desires and needs. Thanks to Kyoko and Monica's acquaintances, and the women Joyce recommends to Randy among her patients, Randy soon has a thriving escort business based on the extra anchovies order, which he manages to hide from Senor Pizza management. On one occasion Randy is going to deliver a pizza to a house but nobody receives him, but knowing his business he enters and they yell at him to leave the pizza on the table. He obeys but begins to undress, in that a couple of children enter very happy because they would eat pizza but they see Randy half naked, so they begin to yell at their mother that there was a naked man with the pizza. Randy full of shame left that house as he could while the mother looked for the money to pay. When she returned Randy had already left, leaving the mother very surprised and the children happy because they would eat pizza but upset because the pizza man delivered it naked. Eventually, the three women's husbands become suspicious. In an attempt to find out who is having sex with their wives, the three husbands review their wives' financial statements and credit card bills, which leads them to Senor Pizza to confront the delivery man who is apparently having sex with all three of their wives. Harry one day arrives early and interrupts his unfaithful wife's act of infidelity. The scene is quite corny, Randy naked hiding under the bed, the husband uneasy because his wife was very kind and docile, so he began to look for a possible lover. Randy in his desperation activated an alarm toy and it began to call Harry saying that there was a naughty boy and asked for help. Randy flees to a room that had a key, but manages to open the door only to find many boxes with alarm toys. All of these activate at the same time and call Harry because there was a naughty boy in the house. Kyoko desperate to contain Harry so Randy could escape while Randy sweated cold because Harry was stalking him. Finally Randy manages to escape, but the suspicion was already too great. Only husbands, boyfriends and the blind do not see reality in those cases. Meanwhile, Jenny has arrived in town to surprise Randy, and has learned from Jory Talbot, a rival of Randy's, that Randy is seeing other women without her knowledge. Randy isn't there, as he received an order for extra anchovies from his mother. He escapes the situation before she sees him and passes the pizza to Tony, with instructions that they're out of anchovies. Randy then learns from his other co-worker, Sal, about Jenny's visit and that Jory told him about the other women. Randy and Jory go to the back of Senor Pizza to fight, but the husbands arrive, intent on assaulting Randy. They grab Randy and are about to beat him up when Harry, Kyoko's husband, realizes that Randy is Joe Bodick's son, as he and Joe are co-workers. Joe had told Harry during a semi-drunken conversation that he thinks Randy is gay, and Harry rules him out as a suspect on those grounds. The husbands then attack an unsuspecting Jory. Randy confesses to Jenny the reasons why he agreed to become a paid escort. Jenny is hurt and unsure of her desire to continue their relationship, but agrees to accompany him to his parents' anniversary party. The couple follows Jory to the party, where it breaks up into a fight, resulting in his arrest for assault. Jory is humiliated when he discovers that his own mother was one of Randy's clients. Joe forgives Randy and agrees to fund college again, and Randy finally introduces Jenny to his parents. In the post-credit scene, Monica and Diane have bailed their husbands out of jail and reconciled with them, while Kyoko decides to leave Harry in prison. This is a fun movie with many very funny scenes, and very entertaining overall. But humor aside, let's not forget that the movie deals with a theme of infidelity, so, as a piece of advice, if you're someone who suffers from infidelity, don't torment yourself, because the fault isn't yours, it's the other person's. You can't go through life distrusting, that will torment you and you'll be the miserable person. So, relax, just stay away from that person. It hurts, but you'll heal eventually. And when you end the relationship, be clear about your reasons, don't disguise them out of shame or respect for the other person, because that will have consequences. You have to tell the truth to everyone. But if you are the unfaithful person, for whatever reason, because your partner bores you, because he or she no longer satisfies you, because you love him or her but still no longer feel the connection, because he or she disappointed you and was not what you thought, for example you thought he or she was a fearless person and suddenly you discover that he or she is not, that he or she was a person with a lot of money but you only see that he or she was a saver, or for whatever reason, walk away. Anyway, and do not disrespect him or her with infidelity, because it is highly likely that it is not his or her fault that you have stopped loving that person, it is very likely that the one who changed was you. We must admit our responsibilities and not blame the other person, as is common today, the speech of friends or therapists who, to make you feel good, tell you that you fell into the seduction of infidelity because of the other person is not true, because nobody forced you to be unfaithful to begin with, and statistically the unfaithful person it's his fault. I'll leave you with this. I know my closing speech for a comedy film is contradictory, but the film deals with a serious subject as a comedy. That's all from me. Bye.